Yes, Sonic Mania is the real Sonic 4.
That said, we should be ready to go whenever
Okay,
you
let me
are.
just pull.
I gotta
I'm
load
gonna pull
up
up my splits timer.
Hang on, let
Yeah.
me just fix the ETA. I forgot to do that.
the ETA.
Oh yeah, 1 hour 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at the game.
You're better than me.
Yeah, get that rematch. I want to see that rematch. Except it goes the other way around.
That's the Sonic CD. Sometime.
That rematch against the final boss.
My practice last night was much better. Alright, I'm good whenever you are.
I'm good whenever you are.
Okay, so this is Sonic Mania. As someone said in the chat, this is Sonic 4. This is the love letter to the original trilogy, and I'll be playing Sonic Good Ending, which is the category where I collect all the Chaos Emeralds and become Super Sonic, and hopefully turn Easy Mode on. I have a couple backup saves just in case if I fail any of the Chaos Emeralds for this to maintain a marathon viable run. And I guess I'm gonna get started. I'll count down from 5, and you can start the timer on go. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright.
There's a delay on my end. Alright, you just started.
Remember that this happened last time. There's gonna be the slight delay.
Yeah, so basically what's gonna happen for like the first few stages is that he's gonna take a few detours going to get to special stage rings so he can collect the Chaos Emeralds. Hence the name Good Ending, where you get the good ending where you collect all the Chaos Emeralds. So he's just approaching the special stage ring right there, and you're gonna see some tech where he jumps sideways, and jumping sideways is much faster than just running straight forward. Normally you would have to like collect some rings and some blue spheres to increase the duration of the stage and get faster, but this sidestepping tech is too good.
Yeah, so I actually messed up and I went in front of the Chaos Emerald. And I didn't want the Chaos Emerald to turn around because it has an anti-cheat mechanic. So what I did was I did a little loop there, and then I had to turn around and save some time and catch back up to it. But if I would have just kept going as I was, the Chaos Emerald would have turned around and ran away from me, and it would have been impossible to catch.
Yeah, like you said, there's like some anti-cheat mechanics, but we kind of cheat the cheat system. Alright, so he's got 2 out of 7, but he's still got more to go. And he's gonna be approaching a boss fight where he's got a whole bunch of spikes on him, but we're gonna ignore that because we're gonna pick up a invisibility power-up. The nice thing about this game is that some boss fights can be trivialized by some power-ups or shields, but you'll see that being supersonic does a lot more than that.
It's actually been a debate recently if grabbing the Chaos Emeralds is faster than actually playing the game or not. I kind of think that it is, only because you get to run through most of the stages, but the big debate is that there's an additional boss at the very end of the game, and you also have to take the time out of the game to get the emeralds. But it really speeds up the individual stages.
There's a lot of skips that compensate for the detour time that you gotta do. So he's gonna be approaching the 3rd Chaos Emerald. I believe this is the one with the reverse strat.
I'm gonna try for that, yes.
So there's the anti-cheat mechanic where the emerald goes the other way, but we can trick the game into thinking we're going the other way and have the emerald come to us instead. And
yeah,
it just
kind of like what I was talking about in the first one, how it actually tries to run away.
So, yeah, we cheat the cheat system. We don't have to go to it. It comes to us. We got a very familiar boss fight from Sonic 2, except he's more of a pushover this time because his feet don't hurt. Oh, he got the fast capsule.
It's really hard to do. I don't get it consistently. The window for that jump is pretty tight.
So, he's gonna be grabbing the 4th Chaos Emerald. But, yes, he does have to take a detour, and he's not going straight to the finish line of the stage. He's just grabbing those Chaos Emeralds first. And we're gonna see some more strafe jumping. And he got that effortlessly.
Yep, that was a good one.
Later on, the special stages starts to become a little bit more annoying because you don't have the walls to bounce off of. There's no borders, so you gotta be a little bit more careful. And the hazards can really shorten the time you spend in the stage. So there's very little mistakes you can do later on. But after that,
Chaos
it's all
Emerald
easy.
6 is going to be Chaos Emerald 6 is going to be the real challenge of the run. Usually if I finish Chaos Emerald 6, it's a full run. It's a big restart point. Chaos Emerald 5 is pretty easy. 7 is also pretty easy. After this Chaos Emerald, if I fall down at any point, I have to take a long route, so I don't want to do that. I want to make sure to get up onto the top route for this. And there will be a series of slope jumps. Zer, if you want to explain how like the loop jumps work.
So when you jump from any downward incline, Sonic's jump speed carries with his horizontal speed. So you combine that together, you can save some frames. But they're very precise when you do it on loops. So you can see he's like jumping on the end of the loops and he's gaining a lot of speed and he's going off, just about to go off screen.
So close.
Yeah, you were at the border. You did pretty well there. But you could not do that without trying to do loop jumps or slope jumps. And there's nothing interesting about this boss except follow where he goes and damage boost until he's dead.
Yeah, placing yourself over in that corner allows you to kill the boss and he won't, the signpost won't land on a hidden item box that's under the ground, so it's pretty much the only time save. It's a really simple damage boost boss. The next boss, however, is stupid.
It's not even a boss fight, it's Mean Bean Machine,
Yes,
which is the true final boss of the game.
Oh, I didn't get a good cycle on the worm things.
Oh, those blue worms are annoying.
Yes. So this stage is full of global cycles. It's the first cycle heavy stage in the game to really oops, I did not do that right.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of global cycle based obstacles. And that means we got no time to stop. We just gotta book everything. Alright, so he's gonna try to go for this this drop dash, bypassing a sticky ceiling and a spike. So once
Pretty precise.
Yeah. Well, once he gets down that tube, that spiral tube. Alright, so that little trick is coming up right now. And he did it. Good stuff. And we are at the one bottleneck special stage, Emerald 6. And there's a lot of hazards, so he's gonna have to watch his footing. That's hope he gets it once he gets there.
Oh no. I'm gonna have to use a backup save.
Oh
yeah,
no!
so
Alright.
so this will save a little time. I unfortunately did forget to do the Mean Bean boss after this. That's okay. We'll save a little time because I'm a cheater. I forgot that my backup is not chemical plant 2. It's Studiopolis. So what I did was just I had to load up another save because it's impossible to try for that Chaos Emerald again, and so I had to use a backup save that I made in order to even be able to get the last Chaos Emerald. So unfortunately, I had to do that. I didn't want to have to use the backup save, but that's okay. We'll cut off about a minute of the time, which is not a big deal.
But you're getting some really good speed shoe strats in this stage. That's what I'm seeing here. Alright, we're gonna get that last Chaos Emerald.
There's some precise little like jumping left and right really quickly to maintain your speed that you have to do. Getting between those two holes in the ground where there's those trees is really scary. It's very easy to fall into the holes.
Yeah, there's a lot of like pits
So
in the middle of the stage. So now he's
now
supersonic.
Yeah, so Supersonic basically gives you the speed of speed shoes plus the invincibility of the invincibility block, and you also get additional jump height.
Yeah, this is why a good ending is sort of feels faster, even though you're taking some detour times grabbing the Chaos Emeralds. But then again, he has another boss fight to fight at the end. So this boss fight, this one, is RNG based. He shoots 3 missiles, and you want the blue one to come out first. So the first set, he got a second blue missile, and there's nothing really you can do to control it. You just gotta see what he shoots first.
Yep, so I'm just gonna hold right. So that's 2 medals. It's pretty average RNG. I was really expecting 4 bottoms on either of these marathon runs I've done this weekend, but I haven't gotten 4 bottoms, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, and because he's supersonic, that is kind of why he could hold right. Because usually you'd have to just drop dash and jump on the missile in your spin state, but he already has an active attack hitbox just on him.
Alright, so 3 medals, 1 top. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's a
mediocre,
viable
average.
setup.
It's
That's a
whatever.
viable path.
So, at the end of this boss, when the screen transitions, I don't want to be holding right. It's possible to get stuck in a, like, running transition screen for a long time. So I actually let up off of the right button for a little bit. And then as the screen transitions, then I will, then I'll actually start holding right again so that I'm running after the transition.
So now that he's got the Chaos Emeralds, he actually still has to grab like 50 rings and make sure he doesn't take any damage, because 50 rings is a quota you have to meet to become supersonic. Oh, that enemy is annoying as hell. He could be a jerk. He just blocks you and you gotta hit all of his 3 orbs. It's possible to pass him in one shot, but that's kind of what usually happens when you attempt runs at this point. But what I was saying is, you gotta collect 50 rings so you can become supersonic, and you can't lose them before, otherwise you'll have to take alternate routes. So supersonic is just doing what supersonic does. Just go fast.
Yep. I'm about to jump up on top of a loop and then jump up on top of some spikes, and that actually will change the path that I'm currently on.
There
Didn't
you
fall
go.
in the funnel. Thank God. Oops, I accidentally paused the game.
Alright, so this boss fight, he is RNG based, but there's nothing. Because he's supersonic, he has a higher jump height, so he can just keep hitting him and trivialize any patterns that the boss does.
You can explain why I kept the electric shield as well, if you want.
Oh, because the capsule spawns at the ceiling, and he needs that double jump. And because he no longer is supersonic after killing a boss, he has that extra height. Actually, there are some strats where you would need to keep shields, so you don't want to lose them. Like this stage right here, Flying Battery. So he's going to have to pass the Flamethrower, which he did successfully. Now he's got to get the Fire Shield, and he's going to be doing some yeet jumps with the Fire Shield, because the bottom of the ship is pretty much death.
Yeah, there's just an endless pit below this stage and the next one.
Oh, thank God, he did not encounter death. So he's gonna be grabbing the electric shield so he could have the magnet ceilings carry him. But when he's supersonic, he still maintains a property of the electric shield. And we got this infamous magnet ceiling corridor. Let's see if he's gonna pass through it all. He does. Well, sometimes you gotta wait, because that magnet ceiling can kill you if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I was a little ahead of the pace there. I was about 2 seconds ahead of pace, so that's pretty good. 49 seconds is the optimal cycle for that electric shield, and that's the one I got, so I was pretty happy with that.
Alright, so now we are at the Death Star boss. The trash compactor.
I finished with 69 rings. 69 rings.
69. Yeah, that's a perfect number to end it on. Alright, so we are approaching Act 2. And the thing is that there are special stage rings that he still has to grab, even though he already has the Chaos Emeralds. The special stage rings still serve a purpose. They give him 50 rings essentially, so you're gonna want to grab those. And
yeah, and sorry.
Yeah, you go on.
I also grab a different electric shield than other people grab, just because I think it's a little bit easier to grab that one as supersonic. Electric shield's good for maintaining rings, just to be safe, because sometimes I'm really bad at this boss.
And there's some strats where you kind of need the magnet ceiling to carry you, and you need the electric shield for that.
Oh yeah, I literally forgot about that part until I just did it.
Yeah, it's the one with the mouse, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Supersonic is kind of a double-edged sword. He's really fast, but at the same time, you can mess up some strats, and you could die to the only two vulnerabilities he has. Crushing and bottomless pits.
Yep.
Those are the only two things that kill him.
And those two things exist in this stage.
Yeah.
Even in the boss, you can get squished underneath of the spikes on the right and left hand side if you're hasty.
Oh yeah, this boss, you have to hit the boss into the spikes as much as you can. So you can hit him 4 times for the first set, and then you can hit him another 2 times for the second set. So he got 3, so hopefully he got 3 on the second set.
I don't think you heard it right. I actually got 4 in the first one.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that happens really fast.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Supersonic is fast, and maybe the sounds overlapped. Maybe that's what happened. Because you did it so fast that like the audio cues like overlapped, and it sounded like one hit.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it either. I was really surprised by getting 2 hits on the second one.
And this is Press Garden. There are some really interesting strats, but first he needs to grab that special stage ring to be supersonic. And there are some skips that Supersonic can only do. Well, starting when he actually gets through these letter cycles.
Yeah, Supersonic. He has a trick that I pull off about 10% of the time, which is a lot better than how it was, which was 0% of the time.
Alright, so there is a drop dash he will do to go up on a slope. It's a very steep slope, and it's very short timing, a very short window of time, so he's gonna have to get it.
I did not.
Alright, this is it. Yeah, but as you said, he didn't get it. It's really tight.
It's very difficult to do, but it looks awesome and it saves about 30 seconds, maybe? I don't know. 15? Somewhere between 15 and 30 seconds.
Yeah. But because he has to take the bottom route, which is a lot of like wrapping around left and right, the top path would have skipped all this,
Yeah.
and he would have approached the boss fight earlier. So, but this boss fight, there's nothing much about him. He's got buzzsaws, but Sonic is immune to any spike damage or blades and all that stuff, so he can just kill him just like that.
I'm actually gonna not talk for the next act because it's one of my biggest choke stages, so I'm gonna focus on it.
Oh yeah, press guard in 2 is annoying. Well, we can talk about just the general gimmick of that. There's an ice blower that makes you frozen and you break certain objects. You don't really have much control, you're just drifting. But you can mash out of it by pressing a jump button 5 times. So we use that mechanic to bypass certain things, but at the same time we have to control it. So,
And hopefully not have to get the chaos or the special stage ring.
yeah, hope you don't have to do that. Yeah, be careful about opening those spikes and those ice blocks.
Yes.
Alright, so there's a Ferris wheel, and he has to hit... There's a Ferris wheel that runs in a cycle, and he has to catch the certain proper items, which I think he did.
Yep, I wanted the 10 ring. That's the only thing that you really want as Supersonic is the 10 ring.
And this boss fight, he freezes you, but because you're supersonic, you get that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So every 2 hits, he freezes you, but Supersonic can just break out of that and catch up to him, and he's really annoying if you're not supersonic. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say casually and bad ending. That boss is easily one of the hardest bosses in the entire game.
Yeah, because you gotta get a fire shield and you can't take any damage because you'll lose it, and it's just a drag. But this is Stardust Speedway. In the past, there's a lot of global cycles and there's a lot of spike hazards.
And the stupid bug.
Those bugs follow you, and they're annoying because they'll track you and they'll just like drop the lasers on you, and you're like, why? He dodged that one, luckily. That would have hurt him real bad. Alright, so the spikes and hazards matter as of now because he needs to maintain a proper ring count. Uh-oh. Those pendulums.
It's pendulums, man.
Alright. But you can still somehow get a certain number of rings. But it's really Stars Act 2 that you want to maintain that count. Oh my gosh. All this platforming. Alright, so he got Supersonic, that's good. He just wasn't able to turn Supersonic earlier.
Supersonic's really only necessary for the boss, just in case if when the bug turns into the singular little bug, he can spawn up high really he can spawn really far up high and Sonic can't hit him, so it just takes time.
Yeah, but Supersonic can. Supersonic can hit the bugs, no matter what height they are.
My controller came disconnected.
Uh-oh. Alright, there you go. You're back.
Yeah.
There is a black box on the left-hand side.
That's weird.
Okay, it's gone. Never mind. We're good.
Okay.
Alright, but this is Stardust Act 2. It goes by really fast, but he's gonna try to grab a special stage ring to be supersonic. Oh, alright, don't worry. He just fell off the route, but he's back. Alright, grab the rocket so you get to the top path where the special stage ring is. Oh, do not go to that tube, you're good. But you would've. Alright, there's this leap of faith he's gonna have to get.
Alright, so I'm gonna explain what you're about to see. So this boss has 3 phases. The I'm gonna chase you down and hit you phase. I'm gonna hide in this thing and send out a little silver sonic phase, and then I'm gonna turn into a big robot phase. I'm gonna try to skip that second phase by doing a 1-tap spin dash into or on a slope, and that will send me clipped into part of the ledge. If I do it incorrectly, I will soft lock the game and I'll have to restart the stage, which I did.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys get to see the whole boss. That's cool.
Uh-oh, yeah.
It's a really tough trick. You have to be really fast. You have to do one individual tap of the jump button, and then you have to button match the other one. And it's really precise. So
Yeah, what would have happened is he would have been jumping up the pillar up until he reaches the top. So the thing is that one thing to know about this stage is that like it's a spiral. So the more you go right, the more vertical you're approaching, and the stage like wraps around itself. So if he jumps higher up, then he would have been going where he would have kept on going right. But unfortunately, we do have to encounter this RNG-based phase, and we want Silver Sonic to do spin dashes, which is a proper way to bounce him into Metal Sonic. So we got 2 spin dashes, and he got 1 stretchy arm, which is what you don't want. Alright, so he got 2 spin dashes and 2 stretchy arms. And now we're gonna
the bullets from the arms attack only does 1 hit point of damage.
And then you got a big Metal Sonic, and it's pretty tricky because you gotta time your drop dashes to hit his belly. And those arms, actually the back arm actually hurts you. And that was not that big of a deal because Captain made it look very easy.
Yeah. Luckily, the downside of me not getting the clip is you guys get to see the whole stage, which is pretty cool. I actually like the boss fight now that they redid it. It's completely different than how it was in the previous version of Sonic Mania. When they released the Encore version, or Plus version, they really revamped that boss, because there used to be 2 chase scenes in it, and it was really horrible.
Yeah, the previous Metal Sonic version of the last phase was not very cooperative. He had an RNG element to him, and that was not nice. But this one's guaranteed. And this is Hydra City, where he has to act really fast underwater, because sometimes the bubbles do not come up and won't serve him. The bubble spawning is RNG, so looks like he bypassed the underwater part very well, and he's got the bubble shield, so drowning is no longer an issue, and he has a fastball and a bounce.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use the fastball or bounce. I'm just gonna use it so I don't drown. Supersonic's still faster underwater, except when you kill yourself.
The hedgehog that can breathe in space but not in water.
Yeah. And the bad part about this...
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, the bad part about this routing is if you mess up, you have to start over at the beginning because you don't hit a checkpoint.
Oh.
So I hope you guys like that stage because we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, those blocks are a pain in the ass. They are cycle-based.
They are cycle based, yeah. I just had a poor cycle. I missed it by like a second.
So, good thing you had to start again, because I can explain some of the slope clips.
Yeah,
So,
excellent.
when you run at a specific speed, you can jump through a slope, and then you'll just go straight through it. However, that only seems to work for this stage for some reason, just by how it's designed. And let's see if he can beat round 2.
I'm gonna take it a little bit slower, and do the bubble shield route.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, so now he has the luxurious time of like setting up and bouncing to get to the top because the blocks are away from him. And that's another slope clip. Actually 2. And because it's supersonic, it's very easy. So there's this boss fight that has an auto-scroller phase where you just gotta descend. And then there's another phase where, remember Hydra City 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles, Eggman is on a ship that sucks you up with the water current and he drops bombs. However, you will become that boss and you will screw him over. So
Yes, it's revenged.
yeah,
Also,
it's revenge.
Act 2 doesn't actually have to do the shark skip. In Act 2, Supersonic, all he has to do is drop dash and jump, so it makes that skip trivial.
If you're not supersonic, then you would have to do the shark skip.
And the sharks are like, they look like little missiles that are shaped like sharks, and you'll have to like bounce on them. So at the beginning of this next stage, there's really tight cycles on these small elevators. I'm gonna try and see if I can do it with the bubble shield. I might have to restart if I fall, just to get a better cycle.
He also has collapsible platforms at the bottom, so he's gotta book it.
Yeah, I'm honestly better at this without the bubble shield.
See if he gets it.
I got it. Nice. I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, so.
That did not look like you were about to get it, though, even though you said it.
Yeah, I also do this slope jump on the loop, and that makes me so that I run off screen a little bit, and then I immediately run into that enemy intentionally to lose the bubble shield so that I can do some drop dashes. I'm gonna get the bubble shield again in a little bit.
Yeah, that first part of the act gives me the nerves.
Damn. I don't get to do the skip.
Oh, yeah, you hit the rings. Alright. So he doesn't have the bubble shield, and he does not have supersonic, so now he just has to do the stage normally. And that's like about 20 seconds of just waiting on these pillars.
Yeah, so you're gonna go in this elevator where there's some wind parts, and it's kind of stupid, but
yeah, you can see that
it's not a huge time loss, and I still have supersonic for the boss, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you have to wait for the game to catch up to you, because the cycles, you just can't go through it maintaining momentum, you have to wait. Alright, so there's going to be another slope clip coming up, but because he's supersonic, he can just get through it. Oh, alright, yeah, he fell out, but it's no big deal, no big deal. He's supersonic.
Yeah, that would have been game over for regular Sonic.
Yeah. Well, there's another 20-second detour you have to take if you drop that route, but still. So this boss fight,
I don't know how to recover from that. Actually, I don't think I've ever continued to run that I've fallen down from there.
Yeah, but this boss fight, normally you have to activate the bombs and then they'll hit him, dealing damage, but Supersonic is also just as deadly as a bomb. So all Captain has to do is just get really close to Robotnik by hugging like certain pillars and spikes and blocks, and he's dead. But not really, because he has to do another phase. So he's gonna try to kill Robotnik before he does a Whirlpool phase, where you have no control over Sonic at all, and it's just waiting.
I just want to show off the Whirlpool. I did not want to just show off the Whirlpool.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens, and it's not nice time loss at all. So he should still be dead before he does the second Whirlpool. Alright, so that's Hydra City, and we have an auto-scroller act for the next stage. It's like Sky Chase Zone, you ride on the airplane and Tails pilots it. Then,
do we have any donations? Because other than describing jumping to the right and getting on a different path swapper to kill myself as Supersonic, there's not much to explain. If we have any, I don't know if we have any donations. You can ask Cave. If we have any, you can read them off.
I can check, but...
Because this is about 2 minutes of nothingness. Oh, hello, Cave. Okay, that's fine.
But we can explain this little fun trick that he's doing where if you have a DualShock controller or Xbox controller, or at least a controller with like a D-pad and an analog stick, what you could do is you could hold spin dash by holding down on D-pad and hold the jump button. However, while holding down on the D-pad, you can tap up with the analog stick. So
you don't have to hold the jump button. You just have to hold the down button.
But having that access to hitting another up button without resetting the direction to neutral helps a lot. So you can do up and down simultaneous inputs, just cause that's what the game allows.
And staying in the top left corner is not only safe for the enemies that are popping up, but it's the proper position for these turtles that are going to come up. These turtles, if you're close enough to them, they will start shooting earlier and they will hit you. That's actually why I grabbed that little dumb but once the train is on screen, I'm gonna jump to the right, turn into Supersonic, and
he's gonna try to kill himself, but he has to grab the checkpoint first, which he just did, and he did both.
On my screen, it did not look like I got the checkpoint.
Yeah.
I did not see the flashing of it.
I heard the audio cue. I didn't see it, but I heard it. So, now, this boss fight is RNG based. It's a big worm that comes up and hits you, like, left and right. So he's gonna try to optimize it by hitting him as much as he can whenever he appears. So he's got the single jump, he's got the triple jump pattern, yeah. So you got 4 hits, and he's got 2 more. Oh, he's doing the sideways jump, so he's got to hit him 2 times. Oh. Alright, he's got 1 more. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I got the ring. That would have been embarrassing, dying at that boss.
Yeah, he's real annoying. So this next act, unlike the first one, it's actually really fast. He still has to grab rings, but it's a very short stage. So it's very exciting to play casually because there's a lot of fancy gimmicks. And you just got to grab those rings. So there's a boss fight that's coming up that he'll approach very shortly. So it's Heavy Magician, and he turns into the some of the characters from the other Sonic series, Fang, Bean, and Bark. So what's going to happen is every time the boss transforms into a character, he has to hit the boss one time, then have the boss reshape again, and then hit the boss 2 times. So it's a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 pattern that he has to get.
1-2, 1-2-2.
Oh, right, but he still has to get 1-2 for the first few.
Yeah, so if you hit him twice immediately, he will immediately transform back into Heavy Magician. So that's why you want to hit him once. As regular Sonic, this is extremely difficult to optimize.
It's because every time you hit him with the jump, the knockback is obnoxious. So you have a very long reach to hit him again for the second hit. So usually the fights go like 1-1-1-1 versus 1-2, 1-2 that he's doing right now. But Super Sonic,
Yeah, exactly.
Super Sonic can catch up to him very quickly. So we are approaching Oil Ocean. He will shortly become Super Sonic because bottom route is very nice.
Oh god.
It has a special stage ring.
As long as I make sure to not jump underneath of those green things and get squished.
Yeah, that's the only problem you gotta watch out for in this stage. And now he's Super Sonic.
Got a little bit of a slow start, but that's alright. I can still work with it.
Yeah, Super Sonic at this stage is fairly easy, and you can do a lot of skips. With that part of the fans, they just loop around like back and forth, but because he's Super Sonic, he just jump up and grab those fans to lift him up. And there's a lot of cycles that could slow him down, but it's no big deal because he's Super Sonic. But those green fire lids could. And
Nice.
so this is Bob the worker. There's really nothing he can do except die. And he's gonna try to align himself because the next act sets you to automatically grab a switch that you would pull down. But it seems like he aligned himself perfectly, so he would just drop down without touching the switch at all. Yeah, he did not touch the switch. And the gimmick of the stage is that the more smoke there is, the more rings you'll lose over time. But we do not need to deactivate the smoke, and that actually takes up time, so we're just gonna play partially blind.
It's not hard to see.
Yeah, it's not hard to see. Over time, you'll get used to it.
That was close. I almost activated the lever.
Yeah, thank God it didn't, but yeah, that's tight. Oh, you got the slope fire dash. Oh, come on. Careful! Alright, so unfortunately, he lost a fire shield and he had to grab another one. But either way, he becomes Super Sonic. And as he rides on the submarines, he should not hit a hatch, the open hatch, otherwise he'll do a mini platforming section where he has to escape the submarine. And luckily he didn't do that. So this boss fight, because he's Super Sonic, there's really nothing this boss can do except die. And throw some long auto-score phases that cannot touch Sonic at all, like that spike tentacle that came up. And a gun that doesn't hurt Super Sonic. Eggman does not seem to learn that Sonic has all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and it seems to bypass everything that he does. Alright, so this is Lava Reef. It can be a tricky stage, but the very beginning, he has to take it slow and grab a lot of rings as fast as possible. There's one section that just is pretty much a huge giant loot box of rings. However, he has to be careful about grabbing them and not dying or getting hit by other stuff.
Yeah, I probably should have just gone on and collected the other 5 rings, but
Alright, you got it. Yeah, casually, like, or just playing bad ending, this stage can get very tough because, there's a lot of hazards that just hurt you and stuff like that, and they slow down your momentum, but Supersonic bypasses all that. There seems to be a theme going on here.
I'm gonna go and pick up some extra rings for some fuel just to be safe.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. And those dropping spike platforms can kill you, so you gotta position yourself properly. Yeah, and that drop dash on that platform is very tight. It's a little bit easier with Supersonic, but bad ending Sonic gets very tough. You get crushed and die. And stair skip? Oh, you almost got it.
Almost.
You only had one jump.
I got stair skip yesterday while practicing.
It's a very tight window, and I imagine it must be tighter as Supersonic as well.
I feel like it's a little bit harder as Supersonic than it is as regular Sonic with speed shoes. Just because Sonic jumps so high.
And now you have this boss that hurts himself by drilling the ground till lava just strips his armor. But there has to be one more cycle for the boss to go in to completely strip off the center armor, and that way Sonic can just keep on hitting him in the center. So the boss is vulnerable in the center, and now he's gonna die. Alright, he's done. So the beginning of Lava Reef Act 2 can be a little tight because there's a bunch of fire and a bunch of spikes. But he needs to be Supersonic later on, which means he can't mess up on anything. He got the right cycles on the flamethrower. That's a really strong start. That is a really good start.
Yeah, getting over the rock dude too.
Yeah. Alright,
so at the Chaos Emerald Ring, if I go too far, I will fall down below and I will not be able to do this trick. This is the trick that's kind of synonymous to the one that I was trying to do in Stardust Speedway Act 2.
Yeah, you transform at the moving block and then you can actually clip into the wall and just keep on jumping up. And so now this stage is pretty easy from now on. But he is going to be approaching a boss fight, the Heavy Rider. And the Heavy Rider swings like a mace around, but Sonic is immune to spikes and all that stuff.
Not immune to getting bounced off of him, though.
That is the problem, though. The knockback is obnoxious, even though you're invincible. So, but the Heavy Rider sometimes jumps and sometimes doesn't. So, it depends on whether the boss wants to be a jerk or not. You do not want the boss to jump for, like, any moment.
And if he shoots the fire out and there's, like, confetti and stuff, you know things have gone sour. That was very good RNG. That was excellent RNG.
Yeah, only one jump so far. 2 jumps, but no big deal. That was a really quick fight.
Yeah, that was very good RNG.
Didn't even let the music finish. Or even get to the beginning.
I have a question. Should I read a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, we got a donation of €10 saying, "Thanks for coming by to this event. It's been a blast following it, and I'm happy we have gotten this much support for mental health." That was actually from me.
Thanks, buddy.
Also, apparently there's some issue with some like one donation not getting through. So I'm just waiting for it to come through.
Okay, cool. So we definitely hit our goal for Sonic Racing karaoke percent, correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah.
I am very excited for that.
Oh my gosh! That was a ballsy thing you did. Piston. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that gave me a heart attack. Alright, but Metallic Madness is not a very fun stage. It is incredibly hard.
I think it's fun. I just also think it's hard.
Yeah, you got really good cycles. Jeez.
I practiced Metallic Madness a bunch last night, actually.
Yeah, I guess it's one of the stages that you just gotta grind to like get good at it.
It's so hard. Both of the acts are hard. The second act is far harder, I believe, or in my opinion, especially trying to get Supersonic.
And Eggman actually finally learned to actually use crushing to kill him. So this is a boss fight that can hurt this run. Oh, those electric balls really do nothing, but this phase is going to be tough. He has to follow Eggman at every 4th piston, so every 4th drop is where he's at. And he's got to time the jumps because he can go too fast, lose control. Well, luckily Eggman is not really being sparse apart. He is staying in one area, which makes this a hell of a lot easier than it usually is.
Yep, that was a gold split.
Yeah, that was... You got good cycles, and you had a very good boss pattern. I would be surprised if that was not a gold split. And, so, there's an interesting gimmick where you actually turn tiny and small. And you can get through, like, really, small areas that you wouldn't access as you were big. But you gotta maintain the rings because he's gonna have to turn Supersonic real soon, which he just did. And, however, the cycles in this stage can get very obnoxious because they have pistons that can kill you.
Oh yeah, the stage is definitely not even close to over. Still very scary. Oh, like that. You'll see.
So... Oh! Okay, alright. Yeah, you generally do not want to take the bottom path.
Yeah, if you fall down the bottom, it's pretty hard to recover, but luckily I've fallen down from that one so many times I know exactly how to get back. And it didn't waste too much time, actually.
Yeah, there's worse areas you could go to. There's one where like you have to wait for like an autoscorer phase where the purple platforms to drop.
Oh yeah,
takes
if you
a
fall down a
while.
certain path, you actually have to wait for 2 of those.
Yeah. Well, luckily we're fighting a boss that has a bunch of mini bosses. It gets very chaotic. Yeah, the Amy dolls are the most annoying. But they take one hit to die, so
I'm very happy with that stage, actually. Even though I fell down, sub 2 minutes is excellent for that stage.
Yep, sub 2 minutes, really good. And now we are approaching the last stage, the last main stage, Titanic Monarch. It's it can be a little hairy, but you just gotta be supersonic at the right moment. The beginning can be a little bit of a bottleneck, but you should be fine. But you got these gravity ores, which are tough to optimize.
Oh my. Apparently so is walking into a certain spring.
Oh, that spring. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden springs in this stage. But if we know where they are, then we can get a boost. Oh! not go up the ceiling. And you got these drivers that should not have a license because they just crash every single time. And this ascension, let's see if we can optimize those gravity orbs.
No, no way.
It could have went worse. Alright, so there is a trick where you could trick the camera. It goes like off screen.
I'm not very good at that, apparently. I'm not very good at getting past this. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why supersonic can be a double-edged sword. Is because you can go too fast, and you may not have the best control, and it can look very janky, like with those bumpers. A really good gravity orb section. Yeah, you do not want to go too fast on those poles, otherwise you'll be swinging, and that wastes like a second, and it can sometimes ruin your speed cap.
It's kind of scary. I don't have a lot of rings for this boss. If he gives me enough...
Gotta book it.
I was gonna say, if he gives me enough, it'll be good.
Yeah, this boss has RNG. He can either go up or down. And usually you want him to go down. Well, because he's supersonic, it's actually a lot quicker to kill him in either pattern. You still want him to go down. Alright, so we are approaching the last act of the stage. The way the stage works is there's 4 paths to take, which unlocks the final door to the boss of the stage. And you can do them in any order you want, but Captain always has a set pattern he wants to do, set the right sequence. So we took the bottom left first, it seems like.
Yeah, bottom left gets you electric shield first. An electric shield is a good way to maintain supersonic throughout the entire almost 5 minutes of the stage.
So he's gonna try to drop dash into the slope to run up. There he goes. That is not always the easiest drop dash slope skip to do, but he got it anyway, even without supersonic. So yeah, the boss is going to be a lot easier if you have the electric shield, which he's going to go grab first.
Oh yeah, and electric shield is a backup.
Yeah, the electric shield is not required to have, but it just makes this a lot more bearable. I'm just going to take the other left as well. Now there's no way he can lose the electric shield if he gets a stage right. And yes, there are cycles with those pistons, and they're global based. Oh, alright, gotta get your speed back up. There you go. All these gravity orbs. So this is another example of why you want to like not go too fast near the poles, because again you can lose your speed cap. So now he just has to take the right paths, the right side paths, and then he'll get to the boss. And again, these pistons are annoying. So
Those ones are the scary ones, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, this is the shortest path, the shortest side, because all you have to do is this gravity orb ascension. It can get a little tight because those gravity orbs, they are cycle based and they go left or right. I just got one more path. Oh, good jump. So, you should be approaching the boss fight very soon. He's gonna have to do a skip for us to jump at the top and grab the early exit of this path, which he just did. Alright, just don't grab the fire shield. Alright, you're good.
Alright, so hopefully I have enough rings to not kill myself. I don't think I'll have enough rings to last the whole fight, but that's okay.
So the way this boss fight works is he has 16 HP and dealing 4 total damage will destroy a tentacle each. But he can hit him 5 times, giving him a head start for the next cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now 3 hits and then the other tentacle is dead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 10 hits total, and he has a head start on finishing this boss pretty quickly. Just as long as he manages his rings, which he should be good on.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, he still has an electric shield, so that is why you want to grab the electric shield, because you're immune to the electric currency that he emits. 2, 3, 4. So he just has 2 hits left, so he's gonna have to space himself properly to defeat this boss. Oh, you got enough, you got enough. What are you talking about? There you go.
That was the first time I have ever had enough rings to beat that boss. I swear to God, that's never happened before. That's never happened before in a marathon thing.
But here is the true final boss that actually only occurs when you grab all the Chaos Emeralds. So this is a 3-way fight between the Heavy King and Robotnik and Sonic. However, you gotta defeat them both. And time's gonna come up. Yeah. And they have a lot of defense too, so you'll see it's gonna be hard to hit them because they got stuff blocking them. So the Heavy King has like these orbs that are just hard to get through. Oh, why is he on the ceiling?
I thought I hit him. I definitely thought I hit him.
Alright, so now Robotnik has these arms that just block you from hitting him. But sometimes you can hit him, sometimes you can't.
You just have to jump over Robotnik. It's actually not that bad.
Oh yeah, time's gonna come up real soon.
So Cave, if you're listening, after I kill Heavy King, that'll mean that Robotnik has 1 health left, and when I hit Robotnik the last time, that's time. Oh. So it's kind of RNG, what side Heavy King comes out of the ground, and you want to spin dash into him if possible, but it's hard to do that sometimes when he pops up on the side that you're not anticipating.
Yeah, it's just a lot of waiting and hitting who comes up and where.
Alright, get ready on time. Time. Alright. I think that might be a PB for me, actually, hilariously enough.
You did.
On my side, I see 102.22, but that might be a little bit different.
GG.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that was Sonic Mania, Sonic only good category. I wish I would have been able to get a Chaos Emerald 6. It's disappointing that I didn't get that one, but so I guess it's not really PB. So
You got the gold split medal of Metallic Madness.
I did lower my time. My sum of best is now below 56 minutes.
I'm definitely gonna be off and I'm